Hello, friends and enemies. Welcome back to Weekly Allowance, the only weekly toy review channel featuring girl power. I am a girl. Well, a woman, you would say. And these are all women too. Technically plastic in the form of women, but we're not going to get too pedantic here. Today we are looking at 3 Marvel Legends X-Men characters, all in this card back packaging. I don't believe any of these are new. I think they have been out for a little bit. We just haven't opened them up yet. From left to right, we have Storm. Classic, everyone knows Storm. Phoenix, Rachel Summers edition, and Mystique, my second favorite X-Men character. So let's look at the packaging really quick, and then I am going to slice it all open and we'll get a look at the figures proper. So like I said, all on card back packaging. Beautiful art on each one. On the back you just get like little blurbs about the characters, an image of the figure. Same thing there, just a little blurb and an image. I can't tell if that's a render or a photograph. I guess it does not matter. We're not really here for the packaging. We are here for the figures. And finally, we have Excalibur, Phoenix Rachel Summers. Her packaging is a little bit different, a little bit more graphic designy. The back is different too. And you can see all other figures that came in this wave. So yeah, pretty simple yet eye-catching packaging. Here we have a look at all our Marvel ladies. So I am most familiar with Mystique. I mean, everyone's kind of familiar with Storm. I don't really know much about Rachel Summers. I was super into X-Men Evolution, but not so much any of the other X-Men series. I collected Uncanny X-Force for a while, but mostly because of Deadpool. That's about where my expertise ends. But I do know a thing or two about action figures. We have a Storm already, but she is dressed in a similar outfit, I think, but she is in white. This is a really nice, striking black outfit with a really cool metallic gold lightning bolt through the center. Mystique, of course, in her classic outfit with the golden skulls around her waist. And then, I don't know what's going on with Rachel. We'll talk about that in a moment. I'm pretty sure she and Mystique are sharing the same body, or at least a very similar body. So I do have critiques about the Marvel Legends female comic character bodies in that they are unrealistic to a painful degree, but I can't criticize too hard because that's just the kind of way the female proportions in these comics are. So they are more or less just being true to the material. But when you look at these from different angles, it's just like kind of egregious. I mean, did they have to go so hard on the butt sculpt for this one? I mean, you can see these deep dimples and stuff. The dimples might be a little too deep. That's unrealistic. But again, it's a comic book figure. Comic books not known for realism. It's fine. I do enjoy when we get a little bit more of a substantial Marvel Legends figure, like a She-Hulk, for example. Still very alluring, feminine proportions, but not quite as twiggy as these 3 are. Storm is filled out a little bit just because her costume, there's a little bit more to it. So let's look at these one by one. Of course, Storm is beautiful, classic queen. The sculpt on her outfit is really nice. Got that golden lightning bolt, beautiful. And then that gold echoes on her cape. I don't like the material that this cape is made of, but it isn't the first time we've encountered this material. It's just kind of like unwieldy, it's thin. Would love for a wire to be in it or something, because this material just kind of does whatever it wants. It's thin and flappy and nylon-y. But yeah, the details on her costume are beautiful. Of course, her face is beautiful, always beautiful. You can even kind of see her pupils. Her pupils are pure white, and then there's a bluer white around them. I think her earrings are supposed to be lightning bolts. They're a little bit too small to be easily discernible, though. Nice hair sculpt. It's kind of got a more lock texture, so kind of echoing this art you see on the box. It's got a little bit more of a texture to it, which I think is appropriate. Love Storm and her beautiful flowing hair. So I could be totally wrong, but I think this area in particular is unique only to her. I don't think I've seen like these shoulders anywhere else. I could be totally wrong though. Her head's a little bit loose. You're not going to get much with this this head because the hair is just so huge. You know, definitely won't be able to look up for flying It's wobbly. I'm expecting, you know, pretty much what we're used to with Marvel Legends articulation. And it's been a while since this has been implemented, so it's not new, but it is nice that we've got more articulation for the female figures now, because I remember when they didn't have bicep swivel, they didn't have double elbows. We're letting the ladies get a little bit more advanced. A little bit of a twist up top. More of a crunch up there. She does not have a waist swivel. Leg up. Ooh, to the side. She's a little bit gummy, actually. So a thing I think we're going to run into with these characters in particular is that their butts are very well defined. It gets in the way. So their legs can't go back. And that is a problem we find sometimes with the male figures too, but it's mostly the ladies. Pretty standard articulation. Exactly what you would expect from a Marvel Legend. It'll probably do whatever you need it to. And nothing more. So Storm will come with an extra pair of hands. These fists are tiny. They are so tiny. So we've run into this before where the fists just seem extra small, even in comparison to the figure. I mean, look at that. I don't know, they seem way too small. Women do have smaller hands than men. I think that's common knowledge, but not usually so small that they're out of proportion with the rest of their bodies. She also comes with these hands. We've seen these before, lightning hands. The ones we have, I think, are in yellow. These are a nice blue, transitioning from white to blue. As always, really cool effect. No complaints there. They're on a hinge. And here we have Mystique. Love her. She's looking a little bit rougher. She gets more of a sneer. She's got more of her facial muscles on display. She's blowing out my camera. Fix it in post. Once again, I know this little blob right here is supposed to be a skull, but it's kind of hard to tell just because of the scale of this figure. She's got a little bit of shading on her hair. Beautiful, pristine white outfit. So this skirt thing is attached to this golden skull belt, and it moves around so easily. But that's going to be good for when you pose her. She just looks so cool. I've always liked this design with the blue skin, the red hair, and the white clothing. Just all works really well together. Her head also can't do much. Her hair's in the way, even though it is much shorter than Storm's. She gets a bicep swivel cleverly hidden on top of this glove, a double elbow, another twist right below the chest. Also no waist movement at all. Even though you could have hidden one under this belt. I mean, it's not something I'm complaining about. I'm just saying you could have. Out. Actually, her leg goes back fairly well. I guess her butt is a little bit narrower. She's got a swivel on the thigh, double knee. It's a little bit loose on mine. And then rock and hinge on the ankles. Mystique gets trigger finger hands because she gets some guns. I don't know anything about guns, so we're gonna call this big gun. And we're gonna call this one smaller gun. Actually, I think this is just some kind of handgun with a suppressor on it, maybe. And then I've got my most hated of hands. Well, not this one's fine, I guess, but the magic power using hands, I just can't with these. She'll also come with this extra head. I had to ask Patrick what this was all about. This is apparently a extra Hellfire Club Jean Grey head that they included for some reason with Mystique, because it's not like it can go on her. I mean, I guess it can, but the rest of her is blue, so it wouldn't really make sense. Not really sure why they included this, but it is a beautifully made head. Just like perfect, actually. Really well sculpted. Paint is really nice. You can even see some little freckles across her nose, a little bit of gloss on her lips. Beautiful hair sculpt all put up in a bun. Really lovely head. So now we move on to Rachel. I have opinions about Rachel. I'm sure she's a fantastic character, but the fit here is not it. I'm sorry. It's an interesting costume. I think my main issue is with her hair. It's so awful. Growing up in the 90s, I knew a couple boy children who had hair like this with the rat tail in the back, and even as a small child, I was like, what's going on here? I have to say, the suit is executed really well. Suit itself, super simple, just base plastic and red. The only thing denoting it as actually being a suit is that it has a neckline that ends here. Otherwise, it's basically just her body. I mean, it's conforming so tight. There's no fabric lines whatsoever. But these studs are really nicely sculpted and placed and painted. I don't know why she's got the studs. Don't know why she's got the hair. Bad decisions all around, I think. But I haven't read the comic I haven't seen anything with Rachel Summers, so maybe there's a reason she chose to be this way or didn't choose. I don't know. She does have a really pretty face. Once again, nice sculpt, nice paint. Looks pretty much exactly like her mother. The hair is a little bit off center, not placed super well. The hair itself is painted really nice. There's some dry brush of a lighter color on top. She gets more head movement than her counterparts in this video, just because her hair isn't quite as robust. Ow, her spikes do hurt a little bit, but I have sensitive skin. Pretty much the same articulation as we saw on the others. Chest movement, no cut at the waist. Thigh swivel, leg can't go back because of her butt being too big. So, yep, pretty much the same. Rachel will also come with some extra hands. One fist and a holding things hand. Some variety there. She'll come with an alternate head sculpt. I assume this is her in Phoenix form. All it's done is given her yellow eyes and some lines on her face and some shading on her upper lip. She comes with a little comic book that she's on the cover of. I mean, I gotta admit, this image goes pretty hard with the red silhouette and then the white wings in the background. That's pretty cool. As for wings, she doesn't get white wings, but she does get these fire wings. I guess you just slip these onto her arms. Probably have to take off her hand. Oh, it didn't want to go. All right. Whoosh. Let's take off her head. That's a pretty big ball joint. There we go. Now she's in Phoenix mode. Caca! Not gonna lie, that looks pretty cool. So here's our 3 ladies. Girls, get it done. So yeah, if you've been a watcher of this channel before, you know my semi-consistent gripes with Marvel Legends female figures, and I kind of outlined them in this video today a little bit, so I'm not going to go over them further. All that to say is that these are very cool figures. They're fun to play with. They look really awesome. They're very affordable. Storm's a bit light on accessories, but she does come with those lightning hands, which is cool. Mystique comes with that extra head, don't know why, but it's a great head. And she comes with 2 guns. Not even just 1 gun, but 2. So that's a nice bonus. A lot of times you get these figures and they come with trigger finger hands and they don't have anything to hold even. So it's nice to have something included that she can actually trigger. And then Rachel, don't know much about her. A little bit confused by her overall look, but I gotta say, with this head on and these wings on, she does look pretty cool. The wings themselves are really awesome. And they don't have to be just for her. You could put them on a Jean Grey or whoever else you want to have fiery wings. So that is about it for our Girl Power edition of Weekly Allowance. I guess every edition of Weekly Allowance is Girl Power edition if you want to look at it from that angle. As always, likes and subscribes are very much appreciated. Comments are more than welcome. And I will see you guys on the next one. It's always a mystery what I'll review. Always a mystery.